This is my audience. Have you ever struggled with falling asleep or starting and finishing an assignment because your mind was racing with thoughts that made you feel restless or hopeless? What if I told you that journaling for just 15 minutes can minimize that stress from impeding on your daily life? Today, I will share why individuals should begin journaling because it can help manage chronic stress and improve overall well-being. Like the rest of the planet, I also deal with stress. After facing the severe outcomes from neglecting it and seeing the consequences in the world around me, I recognize this as a universal obstacle that we can address. First, I'll explain how unmanaged chronic stress can negatively affect both mental health and overall well-being. Second, I will discuss why journaling is an effective strategy for managing stress while addressing the belief that it is ineffective. Third, I will help you imagine the benefits of how journaling can reduce stress and improve emotional well-being and create a healthier, more balanced lifestyle. Lastly, I will explain simple steps that you can take today to begin journaling once a week. Let's begin with the issue. Stress is inevitable. However, letting it go unmanaged can lead to developing complications with your mental health. Research from the Mayo Clinic claims that your body's processes are disrupted after prolonged exposure to stress hormones like cortisol. These hormones are released each time that the stress response system is activated, putting you at a higher risk for experiencing mental and physical health issues. Cortisol directly changes the body, meaning it is not just a feeling or a weakness that you can get over. Although the process is momentary, your body is not meant to live in an alert state for long periods of time because it becomes vulnerable to developing long-term conditions like anxiety or depression. One major cause that can be connected to this issue is the culture we live in. Schools, parents, and employers tend to praise and incentivize productivity and sacrifice. Cultivating an environment where people don't feel supported enough or comfortable enough to admit that they are struggling. Drawing the line between healthy and unhealthy becomes difficult. We may convince ourselves that unrealistic expectations or high pressure, like getting straight A's or 45-hour work weeks, are just goals and ambition. Allowing stress to accumulate can lead to serious health conditions. Overlooked stressors like driving in traffic, taking care of children, or studying all night deplete your energy. In the long term, denying and pushing through stress can prevent you from living life to the fullest. Although the effects of unmanaged chronic stress may seem daunting, there is a simple and effective solution. An affordable and proactive way to manage stress is through journaling. Journaling allows people to use writing as a literary outlet and coping strategy for when feeling overwhelmed. There's a ton of freedom in how you can write. You can create a list of things you're grateful for, record your week, describe your emotions, and set goals. Journaling is a reliable tool when it comes to coping with and relieving stress. It significantly reduces stress hormones before the warning signs appear. According to thesupportivecare.com, a study showed that participants who journaled 3 times a week in 15-minute intervals had a 19% decrease in cortisol levels after a month. It has been tested and confirmed that journaling for just a few moments can soothe your nervous system. Its impact on stress levels is very compatible to those who wish to fortify their mental health by lessening stress symptoms and preventing severe progression. Some may pass off journaling as silly and ineffective. While it is true that in comparison to prescribed medicine and licensed therapy, journaling cannot treat clinically diagnosed mental disorders. However, that does not take away from journaling's complete credibility. Recommended by National Eczema Association, certified board analyst Eunice Yu advises her patients to use journaling as a stress and anxiety relief. In fact, patients who have engaged in writing favor it after seeing improvements in their stress. Although journaling may not replace medicine or therapy, health professionals still endorse it and use it as a supplement. Additionally, its low cost eases financial worry for those who cannot afford other expensive options. Journaling as a tool is realistic because its simplicity and affordability make it accessible for everyone. Picture yourself a few years from now, journaling after coming home from a long and draining day. If you could evolve this into a regular hobby, then you may gain a routine that lessens your risk of burnout and promotes alleviation. Imagine the difference that it would make in your day-to-day life, taking it from surviving to thriving. You may gain a new perspective, expressing more gratitude and positive thinking. It may also end long rumination cycles, encouraging focus and reducing procrastination. However, if you ignore the body's cues, asking for rest and decompression with journaling, then your symptoms may worsen and may escalate into dire mental health conditions. Today and every day from now on, you will have to make countless decisions. Vow to yourself today that you will prioritize your health and wellness by taking the first step forward. To reclaim your right to thrive and unchain yourself from the restraints of stress, there's a quick and simple action that you can start today. Today we have talked about the critical effects that chronic stress has and how a quick 15 minutes journaling can defend your mental health from harm. I challenge you to start journaling by creating one entry a week. You can start by scheduling at least 15 minutes of free writing time per week. You don't need expensive equipment. Any piece of paper or notes app will work. If you need inspiration, you can search up journaling prompts online. You can gradually increase the amount of times and days that you write. Every step you take now develops the habits that possess the power to transform your life. Even if setbacks occur, think of how thankful you will be to yourself when you reflect back on all the progress you have made. In conclusion, today I have explained why you should begin journaling because it eases the effects of chronic stress and enhances your overall quality of life. To review, we have discussed the risks of unmanaged stress and one of its root causes. We also talked about journaling's benefits and effectiveness to reduce the threat to your mental health. I addressed concerns on its practicality and helped you visualize a future if you were to pick up this habit. Remember how I described those invasive thoughts that impede on your routine and peace? Those are the exact moments where I would take the first step to begin journaling. Instead of trying to outrun burnout, take a moment to write down those thoughts and watch how their power over you diminishes. Although journaling won't stop you from ever getting stressed, it is a healthier choice to manage it. And by journaling once a week, you are opening the door to living a fuller life.